Welcome to the marketing videos by Dr. Alka Jain. Today's video is going to talk about personal selling, which is spread around us everywhere. Before we start the discussion, please like and share the video and do subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss my future videos. The video is useful for all the management and commerce students and those executives who face difficulties in field selling. They can just go through the video that explains the personal selling model with a practical approach. In the discussion on personal selling, we shall cover the following topics: definition and nature of personal selling, objectives of personal selling process, contribution of personal selling and salesmanship, relevant situations for personal selling. Today is the era of consumerism and the human life seems impossible without products and services. What brings these products and services to us is called selling. Personal selling is when a company assigns this duty to one of its representatives to go and communicate on behalf of the company to sell the products to one or more prospective customers. In the slide, I have listed a few definitions given by various marketing scholars. First is by William Stanton and Walker, who opine that personal selling is a persuasive activity after some personal communication with the client. Second definition is given by Philip Kotler. This is a face-to-face communication and the communication can be with more than one or more prospective buyers. He also discusses the outcome of this communication, that is getting an order from the client. Robinson and Stinson define personal selling as a purposeful activity that aims at maintaining a mutually beneficial exchange relationship with the client. Still, Cundiff and Gorney see personal selling as a promotional activity containing two-way communication between the prospective customer and the company. According to Schleicher, personal selling is just a purposeful conversation and the purpose is, of course, generating sale. What are the objectives of personal selling? After going through the 5 definitions listed in the previous slide, we can say that first and foremost objective of personal selling is to increase sales volume, which in turn increases the sales revenue for the company. Such a personal activity from the manufacturer's side reduces the cost of sales and builds good relationships with the prospective customers. It also aims at increasing the number of sales per person. Apart from these monetary objectives, personal selling also aims at completing the entire selling job in absence of other promotional activities by the manufacturer. Eureka Forbes used personal selling for its vacuum cleaners as the only promotional activity initially. These personal selling executives are also supposed to serve the prospective customers by providing them relevant information and assisting them in problems like installation and after-sales service, etc. The personal selling executives are also supposed to find new customers and retain those customers with the company. They are also supposed to assist the middlemen in the supply chain. The most important task of these executives is slightly peculiar. They have to act as an advocate of the company to the customer, and at the same time they have to act as an advocate of the customer to the company. This at times gives these executives a personality conflict, but a smart salesperson always makes use of this dual identity. Difference between personal selling and salesmanship. Personal selling and salesmanship sound similar, but they are not same. The two terms have different meanings in the sales and marketing terminology. Salesmanship is an effort made by a seller who provides information about the product and then motivates the prospective client to buy this product. While personal selling is a two-way communication and becomes different from salesmanship because it contains social and personal elements in the process. It aims at providing the customer with right kind of product which can satisfy his particular need or a particular set of needs. This communication is used for spreading awareness and at times for educating customers how to use the product by demonstrating how to use it. Personal branding develops brand preference over competitors and allows the prospective buyer to keep his point of view also, as it has the scope of raising objections and negotiations, etc. Personal selling is also called the finest type of promotion of a product or service, while salesmanship is an art of persuasion, that is, to persuade the customer to buy his product. Scope of personal selling. In today's corporate world, we have two types of personal sellings: across-the-counter selling and field selling. Across-the-counter selling takes place when the customer comes to the seller and field selling takes place when the seller goes to the customer. Across the counter selling includes all kinds of retail sellings, whether it is inside the showroom or shop or through a catalog, etc. This way we can categorize the sales force also as indoor and outdoor sales force. Outdoor sales force can be producers or wholesaling middlemen selling to business users also. For these outdoor sales executives, the selling process can take place at the prospect's home, office, a cafe, or any other place decided after mutual consent. If in future we have more virtual selling platforms or teleporting selling platforms, then of course the scope of personal selling will be broadened. This way, Idea, the telecom company that imagined the idea of online classes, a new way of providing services where the service delivery person needs entirely different set of skills for the educators, they imagined this idea in 2008, and today in 2020 we see that it has become a reality. Hence, we can say that different kinds of personal selling skills are required for different platforms. How do we understand the nature of personal selling? Personal selling is a two-way communication between the seller and the prospective buyer who has been identified by the seller for this particular communication. As said earlier, personal selling is not only a promotional activity but is the finest form of promotional activity and is flexible than any other promotional activity because contains individual and social elements. Personal selling is a process which is entirely focused on customer and not on the product in hand as it happens in the case of salesmanship. Relationship focused process. Since the process of personal selling is more social by nature, where the seller goes and greets the client as we do in our social life, so has more space for relationship building. This relationship element is later used for relationship marketing by the companies. Provides on-the-spot solution. The personal selling process is a flexible process and hence has the capacity of collecting immediate reaction and response from the buyer. This is also a persuasive activity. Though it is different from salesmanship, but during the two-way interaction, persuasion from the seller to the customer takes place, which is an unavoidable feature of personal selling. There are emotional elements in the exchange process. Personal selling brings emotional elements in the exchange process. Not only social but emotional exchanges can also take place in the process of personal selling. For example, when a refrigerator is being sold, the communication may end with giving you a feeling that now you are able to give cold water to the family, or when Chetan Bhagat's book is being sold to you, you have a sense of belongingness to the group of intellectuals. Personal selling has broader scope than salesmanship. The scope is broader because it has a lot more than the two features of salesmanship, informing and persuading the customer. Personal selling develops relationships which can bring larger life to the company's product and ultimately to the company. So we can say that personal selling is the life of a company. It is also creative. Unlike salesmanship, which is a technical selling activity, personal selling is a creative art. Every time you come across different types of customers and different types of objections from these different customers, so the seller develops the art of handling objections and questions wisely. Not only the art of objection handling, but the art of convincing the customer also makes the process creative by nature. This is a service activity of the product manufacturer. During the personal selling process, the customer is being informed and educated at the time of presentation. At the last step of follow-up, after-sales service is to be provided for a satisfactory response from the buyer. Now we shall have a look at the process of personal selling. The process involves 6 major stages which have been listed in the slide. First step is to prospect and identify a prospective customer. First stage answers the question whom to sell. Second stage is pre-approach, which consists of all the homework that an executive has to do before approaching the prospective customer. This will consist of call planning, etc., which will answer the questions when and what. Third stage is presentation, which will be an extended answer to the question what is to be shared with the client or what is my product in simple words. After all the information about the product is shared by the executive, he enters the fourth stage of objection handling, as the customer now may become interested in the product and may raise queries. Once he is able to handle the objections wisely and fully, he should close the deal without any kind of delay. This is an important phase which should not be missed. Once the deal is closed and the sale is made, the last step would be to build a relationship with the customer for repeat purchase. This repeat purchase by the customer will act as repeat sale for the executive, and will make him meet the first objective of personal selling, that is sales. Now we'll understand all these steps in detail one by one. First step of the selling process is prospecting. This first step involves two sub-steps. First is identifying and the second step is qualifying a prospective customer. The seller needs to identify prospective customer from various lists available to him. These lists can be available from various sources like a list of present customers of the company, even if they are using similar or other entirely different product from an entirely different product line, or they can collect these lists from directories or any other kind of mailing list available with the company or its associates. Some companies also have spotters who do this job of identifying customers from a crowd. At times, cold calling also helps in finding new customers. Trade shows and exhibitions also generate the data of prospective customers. Next sub-step at this stage is qualifying a prospect. It means that the seller now will pick only those customers from the list of identified prospects who have at least three features. First, they should have enough money in their pocket or bank account so that they can pay the price of the product. Second is the say of that prospect in the consumer buying decision process for that particular product or service. Third feature is existence of need of that product. Though in the era of consumerism, the needs are being generated artificially and they are overemphasizing. The need is overemphasized at times with a fear appeal. Some level of need should surely exist so that it is easier to generate interest in the prospect for the product. Then the seller can stretch the need to persuade the customer to buy the product. Pre-approach is the second step in personal selling process. Here the seller prepares himself for the actual presentation and demonstration. This is kind of homework before going for the test, the demonstration. First task is to obtain permission from the prospect for demonstration of the product. This homework also includes the tasks like understanding the need of the prospect so that the presentation can take right direction suiting the needs of the prospective customer. This will make the customer feel special if the presentation is tailor-made for him, even if the product is not. The salesperson can rehearse the presentation to avoid errors during the demonstration. This approach gives confidence to fresh or new sales executives. This step also includes obtaining more information about the prospect, at the same time learning any newly added features to his product or to the competitor's product would be helpful. Hence, we can say that the executive should be prepared with the three kinds of information at this stage: his own product's information, competitor's product information, and customer's information. This trio helps the salesperson at the step of objection handling a lot. Just collecting information is not enough. He needs to relate the features and benefits of the product to the prospect's need or the problem so that he provides a solution, not just a product. Presentation is the third step of this process, which has two sub-steps: approach and demonstration. Approach is the very first sub-step where the seller approaches the prospect and builds a platform for the coming demonstration. Normally, a seller uses one of the following four approaches. The introductory approach, where he introduces the features of the product to the prospective customer. Second approach can include handling of the product by the prospect with little conversation. Third is consumer benefit approach, where the seller tells how the product is going to benefit him and so he can be persuaded. Fourth type of approach can be referral approach, where names of satisfied customers are used to motivate the new future customer to buy the product. This phase is the most important part of the selling process as it is the core of selling process. Hence, the demonstration rehearsal is advised for fresh sales executives so that they do not make mistakes while introducing the features and benefits of the product. Some salespeople prefer to give the buyer a hands-on experience with the product. A strong presentation acts as a strong persuading tool. Basics of presentation are always to be kept in mind, that the communication should be clear and the customer's attention is of utmost importance in the process. These sales presentations can be either fully automated, semi-automated, or memorized also. Some salespeople prefer an organized presentation and a few use unstructured presentation. Once the product features and benefits are presented to the prospect, now is the time for the salesperson to wait for the responses and reactions from the prospect. If the presentation receives a happy and satisfying response from the prospect, the deal can be closed. But if sales resistance is faced by the sales executive, then he should be trained enough to handle the objections. The executive should follow a clever but honest approach here. Only a wise objection handling session can bring a sale. These objections can be open or hidden both. Open objections are easy to be handled, but hidden objections the salesperson has to identify, explore, and then answer. At times, the salesperson may come across phony objections also. The best practice is to keep the conversation on with the prospect to get more feedback about the product and the presentation. Whatever type of objections the salesperson faces, they should be handled intelligently to remove the barriers to the sale. Very common types of objections are related to the price of the product, or it can be about the quality of the product also. These objections can come from any direction to the salesperson, and he can answer them only if he has thorough knowledge of the product, customer, company, and the competitor. Closing the deal. This is the most important phase of the personal selling process. There should not be much gap between objection handling session and closing the deal, or the salesperson may lose the sale. In a corporate training session on personal selling, an executive shared his experience of a very good presentation made to the customer by him about his service, and he also received a lot of appreciation for his services, but never received a call or an order from the client after that meeting. The incident should justify the importance of this step of closing the deal immediately after satisfying the prospect, or there are 100 other products in the market to divert his attention from your product to the competitor's product. He can select any suitable closing technique in the process. If an objection on the price is raised, then free gift closing technique may work. If the product is expensive, then an action can be taken where some financial or technical assistance is to be given to the product. For example, in higher studies institutions, the counselors close the deal by calling a bank authority who can provide the student with an education loan. This is called action close technique. Restating the value of your product is a useful technique here. The salesperson has to show the confidence as if the sale has already been made. For example, a t-shirt seller can simply say, "This size is perfect for you, sir. Which color shall I pack?" And the probability of getting a yes in answer increases in this direct close technique. Closing the sale is a prerequisite of a complete exchange process. Follow-up is the most important after-sales activity in this process. This relationship building can be done with the help of letters, feedback forms, greetings, notes, phone calls, and personal visits, etc. An effective follow-up reduces the buyer's doubt about the product or services and ensures a repeat purchase by the customer. During this phase, good customer relationship can be developed. The phase helps in ensuring that the customer's needs are not neglected and his complaints are attended to on time. To keep in touch with the customer is the first step in not losing the customer. It is rightly said that a successful salesperson should never stop serving customers. There can be different situations with the product, company, customer, or the market which may affect the final output of personal selling process, that is a sale or repeat sale. Regarding the product can be expensive or very low cost, for example, a TV and a toothbrush. The personal selling approach by the selling executive has to be very different for these two different situations given by the product. When a product is in a particular phase of the PLC, then also seller needs to focus on his presentation and objection handling accordingly. For example, in introductory phase, introductory approach will work, but in decline stage, persuading approach has to be used. At times, the product has to match specific consumer needs. Then the selling process has to be molded accordingly. For example, while selling bridal dress or bridal makeup. Then there are different types of products which require after-sales service. Then the follow-up phase becomes more important in the process. Brand loyalty of the customer also affects the personal selling process. If the customer is loyal to your brand, then relationship approach works, and if it is poor, then introductory approach should be followed by a strong demonstration. Then there can be different market situations where buyers are less but the product value is high, or where the buyers can be many but the product value is less, or there can be a situation when buyers come from local markets, individual markets, or organizational markets. The personal selling process will change accordingly. At times there are no middlemen or indirect marketing is used by the company and the salesperson has to do entire selling. Next is company specific situation where the company is spending much on advertising or maybe no budget for the advertising. If the budget is less, then the seller may have to start from the scratch for the prospect. And if the budget is high for the advertising, then of course he can simply focus on persuasion. Second situation can be how many products does the company have or how many product lines are there in the company. Also, the size of sales force in a company affects personal selling approaches of its salespeople. Fourth can be consumer specific situation which may affect his behavior towards the product. Some customers need immediate solutions to their problems and show impatience. Some need to be persuaded more than others. Variations in consumer specific situation each and every sales executive faces because each and every human being is unique and so are his customers. We'll talk about pros and cons of personal selling now. Personal selling acts as a promotional activity. It can spread the awareness about the product among the target population even in absence of any other promotional activity. Many small local manufacturers use personal selling as the only promotional tool. As the process of personal selling advances, chances of closing the sale become definite. Customer is not only focused during the process to the company's product but also becomes ready to learn about other products or the entire product line also, which increases the chances of future sale of other products. Personal confrontations in the process bring human touch to the marketing and selling activity. Recording immediate response of the customer is a valuable outcome of personal selling. Personal selling process is flexible enough to suit the needs of the prospect and at the same time, customer targeting is easier. Immediate action can be taken on immediate response of the customer. On the other hand, personal selling is an expensive affair, not only in terms of money but also in terms of efforts and time. To attend each and every prospect personally makes it a tedious job also. Consumer specific behavior may act as a limitation for the personal selling process as his effectiveness may be hampered if the buyer is of a dominating nature. Now we'll talk about contribution of personal selling to customers, economy and to the company. To the customers first. Personal selling provides immediate solution to the customer's problems. Salesperson's expertise on the product becomes an added feature of the product which is displayed in the personal selling process best. Any additional information about the product can be provided on the spot by the seller. Seller can convey the customer's message to the company, hence acts as an ambassador of the company for customer, which increases brand loyalty. To the economy. Personal selling helps in completing the exchange process fast and keeps the economy alive. Personal selling encourages innovations inside the company based on needs generated from the outside environment. To the company. Personal selling may bring immediate revenue for the company. Immediate customer feedback is available with sales executive. The sales staff becomes the face of the company for customers. Friends, I hope the video could familiarize you with the process of personal selling. Do visit my website to complete the certification course in sales management. We'll share the details with you soon. Till then, keep enjoying marketing videos. Good luck. Bye.